All right, Libby, let's take a look at your swim stroke. We're going to start out here looking at your stroke from the side view, and we have actually two views here, both from the side, one above water up here and one below water down here. Hopefully this will get in camera view here soon, the top view. Good looking extension. Nice head position. The one thing with your extension and entry that I would like to see change, and I think it both hands. Okay, this one not quite as bad, but that hand is going in at an angle, almost a vertical, and it's actually about a 45-degree angle. We'd like to see it go in horizontally, so palm down. And then when you come over here to the left arm coming in, we see it's even more of an angle. Palm out here. So that one almost completely vertical. Like to see that hand get horizontal. Because as you can see below, and we'll probably see this a little better once you get closer to the camera, the hand goes in a vertical position, and then watch down here what the hand does. It starts pushing outward. We don't want that hand to push outward. We want, actually what we'd like to see is you enter the water and you extend out. Here's the upper arm, forearm, and hand. The first move that you're going to make is the forearm's going to drop just a little bit and the hand is going to bend down at the wrist. This is called the catch. And from the catch, we're going to start a pull. And with the pull, this elbow may drop just ever so slightly, but we'd like to ultimately see it stay exactly where it is. The forearm drops down and the hand down. Next stage of the pull, elbow stays about the same or drops slightly, forearm, hand. So we end up with what they call placing your hand over a barrel. If you imagine a round barrel object down there, your hand's going to wrap around that barrel. What we'll see here instead of that is your hand's going to push outward and then down. Outward, then down, and finally there you start a nice pull. Okay, see the arm stays relatively straight until you get to this position. Nice head position, nice body, nice and horizontal here. Okay, another thing I just saw. So we start out here. We can see underneath the water. Here's the water line up here somewhere. Your eyes are looking forward slightly and mostly down. That's good. You're about to take a breath. Watch as you take a breath. The head's going to pop up out of the water. It's coming up and turning to the side, where we see the entire top of your head. We could, if the camera were a little more straight on, we would see the right-hand side of your head as well. If we notice down here below water, we can see the angle of your spine like this, and then your head and neck up in this position. Whereas if we back that up, when you had that good head position here, we see the angle of your spine, neck, and head all in line. We'd like to keep that in line, so you'll just rotate that chin over to the side to take a breath rather than lifting the head. What happens when you lift the head is the lower body wants to drop. Raise up here, the lower body drops. And then here's the result of that. The head goes up, the lower body, the hips, the legs want to drop down. The brain senses that, and that's the last thing the brain wants is you to be further under the water. So what it's going to do to compensate is push this arm straight down. Pushes straight down, straight arm, and then finally at some point around here or so you start pulling back. Yeah. Wow, okay, somewhere around there. So essentially you've lost all the distance from here to here. All that distance could have been used to pull yourself forward, but because of this head lifting and the resultant hips, legs dropping, you have to push down with that hand. So rotate the head to the side, leaving this forehead down in the water. Now your breath is over, back to a really nice head position here. This is another thing that not real bad, but um, this hand enters the water a little bit late. You're almost fully extended out here. Like to see it enter the water just a little bit sooner, because what happens is this has the same with this arm. Arm out here in front of you above the water has a very similar effect as raising your head. It causes your hips, your legs to drop down. So want to get that hand in the water just a little bit sooner. And swimming is definitely a thing where form matters, and just centimeters can make a difference. Once again, we see that hand pushing straight down. Another thing we see is to prevent those hips and legs from falling is a big kick. You can see here this leg is extended straight out, the left leg to here and then bent up like that. We'd like to see most of that kick movement coming from the hips so that your knees don't bend a lot. But this big kick that we're seeing here, that is an effort to keep your body up on top of the water. And you're having to do that because of the head lifting and then the arms extending out. Yeah, you can really see it there. Arms extending out over the water. See that arm all the way out, almost completely stretched out before it starts to enter the water. What we'd like to see is the arm, elbow up here, upper arm here, and rather than the forearm pointing out to the side of the pool, a little more forward, and then the hand. And then we want that hand to enter the water somewhere around here, 6, 8 inches in front of your head. That fingertips would enter the water, creating this hole, followed by the hand, followed by the forearm, followed by the elbow, and then the upper arm. What we're seeing though is that hand stretch all the way out in front of you, causing the hips and the legs to drop, causing you to kick big, causing you to push down with the hands. So two main things here. One is enter those hands into the water sooner. The other is nice head position when you take a breath. Those are the two most important things to take care of. Once you take care of those, you won't have to push down with this hand like you are. You won't have to have this big vertical kick, and your swim stroke will be a lot smoother. It'll be a lot faster, and you'll definitely enjoy your swimming more. So head position when you breathe, and get those hands into the water sooner, and extend the arms out underneath the water, not on top of the water.